to talk about freedom in prison. Before I start my presentation, I want to ask a question. What would you need at most if you were a prisoner, except from being able to watch the sky and see whenever you want? I think the answer is reading.
What? That was it? She found it?
Yes.
That fast?
She said books.
Yeah, but maybe some people have other answers.
I think the answer is reading because books enable people to imagine a different, a better world than the world in which they live. We can imagine something somewhere or someone which doesn't exist in real by just reading. We can even like them. For example, we love a character in a book so much that at some point he or she become like one of our friends, and we feel happy when she's happy, or we feel upset if something happens to her. Furthermore, I think we can forget about our problems and our difficult lives, at least for some time, by reading. So reading is kind of rehabilitation, I think. To mention about my real topic, in prisons, convicts have really long time, so they can spend their time by reading. It helps them to improve themselves and imagine a world in which people respect to each other and solve their problems by speaking. It also helps them to have good communication skills. But unfortunately, most of the inmates are illiterate. They don't have the chance to read and create a better world for themselves. For example, even in Britain, half of the prisoners are illiterate, according to The Guardian. Well, what about Turkey? There are 328 prisons in Turkey and more than 200,000 prisoners. Most of these prisons have libraries, but they are not used effectively because of illiteracy, violation of security, because some criminals can cause some problems and they can't ensure a peaceful environment in these libraries. Unwillingness is also a reason not to use these libraries effectively. Actually, in reformatory schools, opportunities are better. Adolescents, children, convicts can get education and fundamental courses there. But adult prisoners are not that lucky. I think to increase prison literacy is also beneficial for future generation because children whose parents are in prison are more likely to struggle with grades, school in general actually. They have tendency to show violence because they don't have their role models. They see their parents like with disappointments, uneducated criminals. Uneducated criminals, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So they tend to commit crime more easily than other children. They excuse that their parents are criminals, so they have the right to commit crime. So I think reading programs should be supported, and prisoners should be told that reading will heal them, and they can improve themselves. They have the second chance in their lives, I think. And there is a chart here. It's like comparison between household and prison in terms of literacy rates. And literacy is separated into three groups: prose literacy, document literacy, and quantitative literacy. Prose one is the skill to use information from the text, like brochures, stories. And document one is again the skill to use information from the documents like maps and job applications. And quantitative one is the skill to use information from numerical text. And in all of these groups, prison illiteracy are higher. And I want to mention about Shannon Trust. It's like a reading program for prisoners. It was started by Christopher Morgan. He is the founder of Shannon Trust, and he has army and manufacturing career. It was started after Christopher met Tom Shannon, who is life sentence prisoner. Thanks to Tom, Christopher learned about the shocking levels of illiteracy in prison, and they published a book, the name of which is Invisible Crime Tree. It's the story of friendship between Tom and Christopher, and it contains their letters to each other. And a sum of money was raised thanks to the book, and the program started. Its goal to teach prisoners how to read and write, and now it has almost 120 volunteers, and prisoners also become teachers after they complete the program if they want. It's implemented in England and Northern Ireland, and the program is for free. And we should watch a video now.
As a best friend in a really short space of time,
I was what's now termed a career criminal. And altogether, I spent about 16 years in jail. It's difficult enough, as it is for a former prisoner to get a job. It's quite difficult. You imagine how much more difficult it is if you can't read or write. I personally know people who've learned to read in prison, write in prison, through Shannon, and they found employment for the first time in their lives. But by giving a person who could not read or write, the ability to read or write, it's absolutely a life-changing experience. It's almost like being blind and then you can see.
Turning Pages has been externally evaluated by Birmingham City University, which said A, that it helps people to read, and B, that it develops both our learners and mentors in many other ways, building confidence, self-esteem, communication skills, and giving them some control of their lives in an otherwise very constrained environment.
I can't explain how much good they are doing for a lot of people. It unlocks people's imagination, which is so powerful to the people. It really helps them to think and believe in themselves. And that's what people, from the volunteers and all the workers at Shannon Trust do. They help you believe in yourself and unlock your potential. And they really are changing lives and inspiring lives every single day at that business.
Of the many thousands of people who've learned to read in prison through the Shannon Trust, I'm certain that many of them, it's been a turning point in their life, and it's changed their life immeasurably.
I want to say that reading causes the pencils to disappear, and it makes people to feel free, at least for some time. That's why I call my presentation Freedom in Prison. And I have some pictures. These are libraries from the prisons of Turkey. This one is yes, Silivri Kapalı Ceza Evi.
And it's Silivri. Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I have another one. This one is Maltepe Çocuk Cezaevi. And thanks for listening.